I am so honored and so humbled to be seated with my next guest. Been trying to get her on the show for a very, very long time. She's finally here, and we're just gonna have a conversation and just, have her speak. You're accustomed to her on stage singing, but now is the time to just speak on who she is. A vocalist, a songwriter. She forgot vocal arranger. I wrote it down, entertainer, vocal arranger, poet, and also spiritual sister or spiritual catalyst, because this is who she is. Let's welcome Stephanie Joseph.
Greetings,
Hi.
greetings to one and all. It's such a pleasure being here and such
Yes.
amazing vibes having, walking here and I was like, Chanel, I was like,
Yeah.
that's my
I
girl. So,
know.
yeah, it's really a good vibes, good energy.
And I am I'm so proud. I feel like I don't even know how to express it, and that is not a usual thing. But the pride that I feel when I see you, when I hear you, and when you're basically just expressing yourself, not just vocally, but holistically, it's a prideful moment for me. And most of you may know Stephanie on stage, but we go so far
Way
back,
back, yeah.
so way back. So the person, the sister, Stephanie, I know her on a different level. So we're gonna talk a bit. Tell me about, or viewers at least, because I might already know some of the answers. But to the viewers, how did it start for you, Stephanie? Did you always know that you wanted to be a singer? Let me start there.
Actually, being a singer wasn't even a thought in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
However, I grew up in a musical family, we grew up going to church.
Right.
And my father, his whole side of the family sings, my mother, same thing. And,
Mm-hmm.
me and my two sisters, she always, every little thing it have in church, probably Mother's Day, Father's Day, Christmas, we always have to do some specials as the Joseph sisters.
Yes.
And so I started developing my, learning harmonies and stuff. So she'd say, you do this, you do this. Then, we had it serious. It was like if, we was in a real school.
Serious
Because,
girl group.
home there, no time to play.
Yeah.
When mommy training you to do something, we had no laughing and know you had to do what you had to
Serious
do.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I just developed the love for singing. And, as growing up, I also endeavored in doing an album on my own under Dunamis record label. Much people don't know about that, but it's called Rooted and Grounded. I did that some way 2000 and very early in the 2000s. Could be 2003, 2004. So it's a gospel album that I have out. And from there, life experiences and experience open up my understanding and make me see the reality of myself and
yeah,
take
a breath, because it's something that your experiences are there to teach you. A lot of us speak through our artistry, and this is something that you do. This is something that is effortless for you. Yeah. So the experiences, this is what you are able to pull from, whether they be positive, negative, whether they impacted your life, for the better or for worse.
Yeah.
You pull.
So I had to go through a period of unlearning things that I learned to be the only way, this was the way, and I had to shift my understanding of things in order to proceed to who I needed to be.
Yes.
I couldn't stick to the old Stephanie, to the character, to the things that I was trained to understand. I just had to unlearn everything and open up myself to this reality.
Yeah. And Stephanie, there's a funny thing about life. You are constantly on a journey, but there's a choice when you take that journey to take that journey alone. So it's not what was shoved at you as a child. It's not what the economy says. It's not what this one say. What is right, what is wrong, where we go, what to do, how to sit, how to stand.
So true.
Yeah, there's a journey that you take, and it's just you have to take it. And I love the fact that you said you had to unlearn. Oh my gosh, the pandemic alone, I had to do some unlearning myself.
Yep.
And it takes you to a place that you really don't want to go. It's emotional. Your it is a ball of so much energies.
Yeah.
Yeah. But how you come out of it.
Right. Well, actually,
Yeah.
during that time for me, when I took time and I, scrolled through the media and stuff, all this stuff that I was seeing, it was so heavily based on fear,
Mm-hmm.
and to me, it's like, isn't anybody, tuning in to the energies and to the universe?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody forget how to breathe because, we just studying to mass up that we're not even stepping outside to take a fresh breath of air. That within that space of time, I decided to fill the media with something that was positive, something that was fresh, something that they could feel relief in that time, instead of consuming, because fear itself is something that makes you sick.
It does. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started.
And I see, as the more of the fear and the excitement around the whole situation that I saw, is just the more people I see going in. This one positive, that one positive, that one, So I say, what? Let me use this time to share some light, some good energy, some vibe that is still okay to still step out. It's still okay to say hi to somebody. It's still okay to reach out, to be kind, instead of just pulling away everything because, we just about trying to
preserve our
ourselves.
Health and ourselves. Yeah. And I think we lost so much of that human aspect. A hi, a hello. We lost being able to speak with one another, being able to enjoy our energies as human beings.
Very much so.
And the pandemic probably just pushed it more to the forefront, but humanity has been going down that road before the pandemic.
Time.
Yeah.
A long time.
So how was your musical journey during that time? Were you writing? What were you doing during that time?
Oh yeah, I'm always writing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a person that enjoys self time a lot because those are the moments where I grow.
Mm-hmm.
So even, yes, I love my family, but I just need that time of solitude where I could just blank everything physical about myself at that point in time, to just tune in to what my spirit wants, what it needs. So, I always, in that time, really and truly, it was like the best time for me. So as much as we had to stay away from ones that we love and we couldn't do a lot of the things that we are accustomed doing, it was a really great time just because of that silence. Because of that, I actually started to read more than I usually read. And it was really, really nice. I connected to the ones that were even already close to me. We got even closer because we realized now how much this social media and all these things, it kind of separates us from each other when we just on this phone right through and on the tablet there and whatever. But in that time, there's a time when everyone's like, oh gosh, I've just kind of fed up. I just go through what we could do. And we create moments where, we did like trivias together. We cook stuff and send this here, send that there, just to, so it was really a loving, good, healthy vibes too, because I use that to introduce healthy stuff to my family.
Yeah, and one thing you said about the healthy vibe, I remember my daughter came to me and she was like, "Mommy, what's the noun game?" I said, "The noun game." I said, "What is that?" Boy, girl, animal, place thing. She was like, "Yeah, when you choose a letter and you have to write a boy name, girl name, place, TV show, movie, whatever." And we played that game. That game was so we just didn't know what to do again.
Much fun.
It was so much fun, seeing what they were coming up with. Some of the places I never even heard of, and it's like it was just being together in the moment, just being together with that energy was a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful thing.
Yes, indeed. I could imagine.
Yeah, it
Because
was.
even growing up, in our time, we wasn't so much on the media and with the phone. So,
media wasn't
it brought me straight back to my childhood days where enjoyment was more being outside. It was more spending time with each other and doing activities and conversations. And even sometimes I remember when my grandma, when she came from Trinidad, and in the nighttime when she would sit and sit on the bed and we sit around her and she give us stories, and it's like, and I introduced that to my children as well. I even called my elder sister. I was like, well, how did the story go again? Because I want to
want to relate.
And we find time to do all these things. And even for today, my children enjoy stuff like that more than they ever did before.
It's so wonderful, and I am hoping that as we move forward, more of us get back to that human aspect of living. I'm hoping with every piece of me that would happen. Not sure if it's going to, but I hope that we rest the social media a little bit. And get back into being with one another. And it brings me to now. I remember you in gospel pretty well. I think that's the first time we met. I think it was a gospel. No, it was a competition of some kind. Yeah, it was a competition, and we walked in, did not know the song, and I think the chorus was sung, and then we just started harmonizing together. And then when I heard that, I said, "Oh yeah, that's all. That's what I said in my mind."
Hey, we connected from
and
there.
That was where the connection started. Yeah, because you come in, and music is such a catalyst. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. But Marley said, one thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain, because it's that kind of cosmic release, I think. Yeah. So when you did gospel, you transitioned before my eyes, as a matter of fact. You were very much coming into your own as a reggae singer, reggae gospel artist. So how did that feel for you? What was that transition like?
Right. So my brother, being a DJ, he always find the most interesting music to play. And because we were so stern into the Christianity lifestyle, we couldn't play any and everything in the house. So sometimes, because I loved so much music, I love reggae, I love this, that. But, back then you couldn't find such a versatility or a variety within the gospel arrangement. So, we chose the most positive ones to listen to it, nice, probably a little Glenn Washington. And then eventually, artists started to pop up like Showing Gardner, and they started to bring a real nice vibe in the mix. So I started tuning into that and being truthful to myself. Even back in those days, I still find my moment to listen to Sizzla and to these other different conscious artists, because I just loved it. I couldn't listen to it at home. So I just had to find myself in spaces and places where I could hear
them. Because it's music, and there is something that reaches you, that touches you somehow, resonates with you. You might be going through something emotionally, or and music is that kind of forum. It's that kind of, it cannot be compared to anything else. It's just that music. You can't compare it to anything else.
Nothing else.
Yeah. And with reggae, I remember there was some shows that, because you were not in Tobago for a while. And so when I would see you, it would be on probably an info feature, or, on screen, and my sister, mostly my sister, she would go, look look, that is not Stephanie, and it's like, it was so much pride. It was so much, the love was, immense, seeing you doing your thing out there and getting to express yourself, being involved in those platforms. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. And I like the fact that you dabbled in various genres.
Yeah.
That helped you to grow.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
It did, indeed. Sometimes too, most people back then knew me just for chanting and the reggae, because I was really just on that. And then there was a competition that I decided to take part in. And for the first time, I sang.
Right.
And I heard people was like, so why you don't sing? Why you just only chanting? I never know you had this voice. And, and I was like, Steph, this is a quality that, you really have a really nice voice. You should actually write some songs where you could show that other
show
side
your
of
versatility.
You. And even while I did so, still was more chanting more than anything else because, and then when I started to do the hotels.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that. Yeah.
When I started to do the restaurants and the hotels and probably casinos and stuff like that, I realized, there were a lot of tourists and stuff, and they really appreciated hearing, like, the Whitney Houstons and the, some of the old covers that we love to do.
Right.
And within that, sometimes while I perform, I even shock myself. I was like, Stephanie, like, you could make this note, like, you could really, and I just said, okay, cool. And I just started to look at videos to see, well, okay, work, thing your range, work on it, go up, go down. And I couldn't stick to that for too long. So I just stand in the yard because I live in a very, what do you call it?
It's communal, like everybody lives there.
Never. It's a very alone area. It's an isolated area.
Okay.
So we like in the mountains.
Right.
So sometimes I go out, I call it the jungle.
Okay.
And I look at the trees, and that's my audience. Sometimes you might see a little sun peeping through, and I say, that's the light at the stage and stuff like that. And I just open out in that environment.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful place to be. Now, don't be fooled by her humility. Don't be fooled by the quiet and the humble resonance that is Stephanie today. Now, this queen here is a powerhouse. And let me tell you why. She writes, she sings, she arranges. Her spirituality is very much a part of what she does. So you feel her before she opens her mouth on the stage, basically. And sometimes you either have that or you don't, And I know, I agree. You either have it or you don't. So it's definitely something that needs to be celebrated. And I'm so glad she actually took the time to sit with us on brunch today. So Stephanie, back to you. Right? We were talking about the various genres, that you exposed yourself to. And you finally gave yourself room to evolve and grow as an artist. This was when you started with the hotels. So we took the break. You were talking about the hotels and what that experience was like. What was that like for you?
So actually, it was really very, very amazing. And I see it as that was a really important and necessary journey, a part of my journey that I needed to embrace what was to come. Because I didn't have a clue that Stephanie would have been singing on jazz, actually doing jazz, writing jazz, and to me, I was just when I decided, okay, yes, singing is what I wanted to do. The direction I was heading was just strictly reggae. Because to me, it was at that point, it was the only way for me to actually bring out the truth that I wanted to share.
Right.
The consciousness that I wanted to embrace within light and stuff. But then, truth is more than just something that you hold on to And this is
a physical entity. Yeah.
This is my belief and this is my religion, but it's more about how you live, the truth that you speak in every aspect of life, whether it be sexual, financial, physical. It is not only about a superficial, being in a corner and it's just this special time
specific thing or body.
It's every minute, every second, every day, every breath.
Yeah, definitely.
And when I come to realize that, it even opened me up to singers like Nina Simone, Erica Badu,
Jill Scott.
And there's this one,
Jill.
What's her name? I can't remember right now, but she's saying, I am light in the
Yes, India.
And when I listened to this, I was like, so much truth, so much openness, so much rawness, so much real. And you could tell that in the midst of watching that, you could see that it's real experiences that bring out this.
Yeah.
This type of music can just come just straight
night.
from your mind. It came from experience and from opening and hurts and pain and joy and everything. So that encouraged me. And as I go along my journey, I use all of everything within me to create what I do.
Yeah, and I think that when you get to that point, it's such a beautiful thing because what you're producing is of you. What you're giving is your light. It's your testament. It's your love, your hate, your everything that makes you you. People constantly say creatives, we express ourselves through our art. And so the level that you may be on may not be the level that I am on. And so when you meet in a space of creatives, it's always buzzing. And the energy is always, it's like a ball of, I don't want to say confusion because there's so many things coming at you at once. And everybody, most of the times, everyone is not on the same level. Everyone is not dealing with.
Yeah, we are not all on the same page.
Yeah, we're not dealing with pain. We're not dealing with things that happened to us long ago, and so whereas the space, because I felt some culture shock being involved in the arts because I was involved for a very long time. I started at 7 with my dad. And some of the experiences that I encountered, some of the persons that I encountered, some of the most cruel and mean were adults. And
people
at
that you
7
will help
and help you along the way.
Is actually bringing you down and having negative energies shooting at you.
Yeah, definitely. So at 7, this is not something that you understand because you kind of see adults in a certain way. And in your mind, you're thinking, okay, you have this blueprint of how an adult should behave or how an adult should reach out to you. And girl, and let me tell you, some of the nastiest people were adults. And I'm saying everyone is definitely not at the same level, whether you're a child, you're an adult. Once you're a creative,
right.
Yeah.
It's different out here.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, my sister tells me, you're strong enough. Jay, you're strong. You're strong. I said, girl, since age 7.
Yeah.
And so it gives you an understanding of human beings. It's not a nice lesson, but it gives you.
But it's definitely necessary.
Yeah, definitely.
So how I treat with that over the years, and it works for me.
Right.
Is I in spaces and in places in time, the energy that I harness when I am alone, I don't ever want to lose it because it's where the strength also comes from.
Right.
And in order for me to harness that is for me to respect myself and who I am and everything that I have to offer.
Yes.
So I also developed respecting people wherever they are at, because I can't come from behind the counter and just expect you to fly and say, yes, Steph, yes, 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 that's it. Yes, I can't do that.
Exactly.
So I just have to respect everybody at where they are, and if my encouragement is needed, or if even I need to be encouraged, I receive that. Definitely. And if my encouragement is needed, I give that.
Definitely. And that's how it should be. That's how we should live, which brings me back to the human aspect of things that we are losing. We are losing ourselves in technology. We're losing ourselves to social media and all of these entities that come in. Yeah. And we're gonna take a break. But before we do that, Stephanie, what would you say to the persons watching if you had to leave a lasting line or empowered phrase or positive message? What would you say to the viewers today?
And the people who constantly follow me on interviews and on social media and so on, you would constantly hear me saying this because it is very important and necessary in a time like this. Take time with yourself to know yourself. Stand up for you. Give yourself time. Love you. And when you develop these habits, it might seem like nothing now, but when you actually develop these habits, it's the only way for you to help someone, be there for someone. Because if you cannot do it for you, you can't do it for anyone
else. So there you heard it. Queen Stephanie just gave you some very useful advice. You have to love yourselves. You have to be able to dig into you and love yourself. All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with more of Stephanie. Stephanie is going to perform for us. This is a new release, guys. Yes, A Time for Love.
Time for Love.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Yes,
love it. So we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. Thank you so much for joining us today. From our family to yours, we wish you peace. We wish you love, light, blessings, success. Oh my gosh, in whatever you endeavor to do, my beautiful kings and queens. We're going to be right back with Stephanie Joseph.
Love, love.
Yeah. I feel a blessing, no time for stressing. It was a lesson, say it was a lesson. Right now we pressing and we progressing. We just investing in some time for love. Time for love. Time for love. Yeah. Time for love. Time for love. Time for love. Ooh. Can you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Love is a healing. It gives you a feeling. Don't hold on to nothing. Don't hold on, no. Don't hold on, no. Life is everything. We doing the best thing. That's why we investing in some time for love. Time for love. Time for love. Yeah. Time for love. Can you feel it? It's time for love. Yeah. Time for love. Can you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? So everybody watching right now, you enjoying this vibe? Just put your hands in the air like this. Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Can you feel it? So generally enjoying it, man. Time for love.
interviewing people, we go way back in it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Hey, and that was Branch, A Taste of Tobago. My girl Stephanie Joseph, A Time for Love. Thank you so much. We're going to see you on Monday. Before we go with the trivia question, the answer is Roxborough. Winston Duke is from the village of Roxborough. So we're going to take you all out with Stephanie again. I'm going to let her do her thing. And you're going to see us on Monday for Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Yeah, yeah. Can you feel it? Hey.
Please, you want to take me out to them? Yeah.
I feel a blessing. No time for stressing. It was a lesson. Say it was a lesson. Right now we pressing and we progressing. We just invested in some time for love. Time for love. Time for love. Yeah. Time for love. It's a time for love. Feel it. Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Yes, I feel it. Yes, I feel it. Can you feel it? Hear it. Love is a healing. It gives you a feeling. Don't hold on to nothing. Don't hold on, no. Don't hold on, no. Love is everything. We doing the best thing. That's why we investing.